juicy wine cakes from the book Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole, possibly the funniest book ever. It's the story of Ignatius, a 30-year-old man-child living with his mom in New Orleans. He's a slightly obese intellectual who can't hold a job. Since it takes place in New Orleans, food is an important detail. In fact, Debbie got the recipe from a cookbook written specifically about the food in the Confederacy of the Dunces. I'm excited to make these because they sound so delicious. We're making juicy wine cakes, which are Ignatius's favorite little treat. His mother says if he doesn't have them, he gets cranky. I can completely understand that. So the first thing we're going to do is make just a general white cake. And what you want to do is cream 12 tablespoons of butter. Of course, a cup of sugar. Those are your basic beginnings to a cake recipe. This is not the time for a cake mix, especially because you're going to have wine in the recipe and then you're going to soak the cakes in wine. So get some sugar in here. We've got some butter in there. Of course, you know, it's real butter. Okay, and then you're going to, of course, add 4 eggs, room temperature, always room temperature. I try to do one at a time, but I don't always get it done that way. You're going to want 2 tablespoons of vanilla. Just a little bit of cloves to this, not a whole lot. And then I'm going to get my dry ingredients together. So it's 2 cups of cake flour, and you absolutely want to use cake flour. I would go into the explanation about what makes a difference, but it is different. It's not just a matter of being finer through sifting. I'm going to go ahead and sift. Okay, so a main ingredient for these, they're called juicy wine cakes, is wine. So we want to make sure that we pick a good wine. First of all, you could do this with any kind of alcohol. You could do it with rum, you could do it with champagne. I've seen champagne cupcakes where you got champagne in the mix, also in the icing. But it's real important that you pick a good one. This is not, you know, so I've got 2 different ones. I decided to go with a Pinot Noir. They recommend a port or a Sauterne. I wanted to just see what a nice Pinot would do. Okay, there is no contest. Keep in mind, I don't like a real sweet one, and when you soak the wine cakes, they're going to be mixed with sugar water, so you don't really need a really sweet, super sweet one. So what we're going to do here is half a cup of wine, and we are going to use the Mark West. It's not, you know, real expensive, but it's not sugar and butter. You can mix till the cows come home. But when it comes time to adding the gluten or the flour, you're going to want to make sure that once it incorporates, you're done. They want you to start with the dry, put a little in, and then some of the wine. A little more dry, some more wine, and then they want you to end on the dry. And I'm telling you, as soon as it's incorporated, it's done. I'm going to give it a quick, make sure it's incorporated, and that's it. Okay, so I'm going to put them in these nice little cake pans, heart shape. You can do them in cupcake pan as well. You want it about 2/3 full. I greased and floured them really well, but I didn't have Pam, and I'm going to be sorry. I'm a big Pam user. Now you're going to put them in a 325-degree oven for roughly 40 minutes for these, 30 if you're using cupcake tins. So now we're going to make the wine sauce that's going to have the cake soaked. So we're going to add, it's a cup of sugar and 2/3 cup of water, and we're going to boil it down just like we do with the simple syrup. To the simple syrup, you're going to add the wine, the cup of wine. You're done. Let's get a gander at these little babies. Oh, how cute are they? Cool for about 5 minutes. It'll kind of pull away from the pan a little bit, and then I'm going to cool them a little bit on the rack. Then we're going to do the dunking. So now our little wine cakes are ready for their soak. Okay. I think that's had enough of a soak. We'll just put it over here, back on a rack so it can drip. It's going to make a little bit of a mess. Let's see if we can get 2 in there. Yeah, we can. We will be making frozen bananas. That is
that in the
for
book?
sure. Okay, so we're going for extra juicy. So I'm going to go ahead and like really saturate each one just in case. Okay, so no New Orleans treat would be right without some nice French press coffee. So I boiled some water. I don't know if you've ever used a French press, but it's basically a scoop per cup. So I kind of eyeball it 2, 3, 4. I'm going to say, one more. It's more like 2 scoops per cup. I usually stop it right about there. And you're going to let it steep for a little while. You're just going to let the coffee sit there. I put the lid on so it stays nice and hot. So after about 5 minutes or so, you're going to basically, why it's called a press, is you're going to press the grounds to the bottom of the pot. So you just do it nice and slowly. There's a screen there. I will warn you, don't buy espresso ground because it's too fine. It goes through the screen. So just regular coffee does just fine. You just push it down really slowly. If one of the boys were here, they'd be wanting to do this. I think I'll have the boys down and have a little French press coffee and have a bite of cake.
Mother, when was this coffee dripped? It tastes rather brackish.
He's a good boy.
Read the book.